if anyone's out there listening and you know somebody or you have cancer and you just want a cancer friend, hit me up. I'm more than happy to talk to you.
We're not talking about zodiacs.
Right. We're talking about cancer. So basically, I needed hormone therapy and chemo and also radiation for the hip.
How was chemo like?
Chemo wasn't even that bad, honestly. It wasn't.
It's not how people drag it out to be, or what? Or
I mean, it could be. They didn't give me the worst drug. And I'm like, you know what? I can do that. Like, I want to, like, buzz my head. I always wanted to buzz my head, you know? And then I never did it. And then, boom, you get cancer. You have to, you know what I mean? So,
all right, so you really want to beat the shit out of guys.
Yeah, and I want to peg. Like.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you want to do this? Like, what has gotten
Why
you?
do I want to peg?
Yeah.
Because, like, for once, like, I want the dick. Like, I want to... As a dominatrix, I don't want to, like... I don't want to, like, fuck them. Like, I don't want to be penetrated. Like, I want to do the penetrating. You know, like, I don't want to be fucked at all. Like, I just want to, like, beat the shit out of people and, like, fuck them. You know? I really want to do this.
So all right, look into the camera right now.
Yeah.
And, like, shout out your dominatrix name.
I don't have a name yet.
All right, let's figure it out right now. Well, all right.
I don't know. Ass Slayer?
Ass Slayer?
I don't know.
A go. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know. So yeah.
So hey.
We got Carly in the crib. What's good?
Hey people, what's up? What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Yo, how's your journey over here?
The journey was crazy. Not that bad, but it's mad hot outside. So, you know, it's like 90 degrees and I don't leave the house between like the hours of like 11 a.m. and like 7 p.m. if it's that hot.
And you're you're coming from Lower East Side, right?
I'm coming from like East Village, yeah.
Right.
You know where Stuyvesant Town is?
Yeah.
That's where I live, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you always grew up there, pretty much?
No. Okay, so funny story about this. So I won the housing lottery.
Oh shit! Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
For real.
But my dad lives in Stuytown too. So I was actually born in the Bronx, and then my parents split when I was like 5. So my mom took me upstate to like Middletown, New York, which is like Orange County.
How was it there?
It's like white city, like white people town, like suburbs, you know. I grew up around a lot of white people, and but it's like it's cool because I got to drive a lot, and like the schools were like good up there, and I have family up there, so it was good. But then my dad stayed in the city. And then he moved to Stuyvesant Town, and then he's been there since the 90s, since it was like the hood. And now it's like all gentrified, and I call it like the white projects because it really is like the white projects. Yeah, I actually didn't coin that phrase. Someone else, I forget his name, but anyway, he's from Vice, but he coined that phrase. And who lives there? Not Macaulay Culkin, but his brother... Kieran Culkin lives there. I don't know if you've ever seen like Scott Pilgrim, the movie Scott Pilgrim.
That rings a bell. Yeah. Wait. I know who's. Yeah.
He's the gay roommate.
Right, dude.
Yeah. Okay. He lives there. What else? Who else lived there? The girl from Save the Last Dance.
Okay.
Lived there. Anyway, so my dad's been there. I've seen it like change. I've seen it like evolve.
Drastically change.
Like from like the 90s when like the East Village, like Alphabet City was like kind of hood in the 90s. And then they used to have like the buildings used to have, you know, those elevators, the old school elevators that you just open the door first and then the second door opens. It had that. Like,
it's like here.
Oh, really? You have an elevator? Well, I didn't even know. Yo, I got lost coming up here. I was like, I took the wrong stairwell at first, and I'm like, wait, where am I? It was like crazy.
That's funny as fuck.
Anyway, so I'm on like all these like different like housing. I don't know if you know about the housing lotteries.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like,
Housing Connect.
So I'm always applying to like all of them.
You never know.
Yeah, and I get called. I've been getting called for
really?
like a lot, but like there's mad different phases. So the first phase is like you get called to like submit your documents, and then that's the first phase, and then the next phase is if you pass. Like there's like mad different like salary requirements to like.
Yeah.
And then you could like fail at like if your credit score doesn't match or if your salary is like too low or too high or if like you don't submit the right documents, like that's it. They cut you, eliminated, and then they're on to the next one. So like,
and there's so many people doing
there's
it.
so many people, but I'm getting called to like submit my documents for like mad apartments in the past couple years. But funny enough, the Stuytown lottery wasn't on Housing Connect. My dad just like sent it to me. I guess he gets like info for like for the Stuyvesant Town lotteries.
Okay.
This one was actually, I applied in 2018, and then COVID happened, and then I guess they paused the whole like lottery. So then like in February, I get an email saying, "Hey, we're starting the lotteries again. Just letting you know, like if your name's like in here, we're gonna resume like the drawing, whatever."
Yo, shit's so backwards. How did they pause that then? But then, like, when the immigrants come through in waves, they put them in hotels.
I don't even know. I don't know the politics of this, but I was like,
right?
all right. So then and then I'm like, all right, I'll look out for that. And then I get another email saying, hey, we reached your log number. Please submit your documents. So then I submit all my documents. And then I was like, oh shit. Like, I think I was late. I was like, I missed the deadline by like one day. I'm like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna still like send my documents in. And they accepted it. And I was like, oh my God, they fucking like, they're like, okay, like we accepted you. And then
That's
you have
crazy.
to like pay like everything like right like up front, you know? So.
But what do you mean everything up front? Like
You have to
month,
pay
second
first month and security.
Last,
Security and first month.
okay.
Yeah, security and first month you pay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it's convenient. My dad's like a block away from me.
Nice.
So I have someone to watch the dog if I'm like, you know, gotta go somewhere or whatever. And like I have family right there, you know, if I need anything. And I know the neighborhood now, like, you know, because like he's been there forever. So it's like things happen, you know, for a reason.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so when did you find out you had cancer? How did you find out?
All right, we can transition to that. But yeah,
no, it's a weird transition, right?
But, like, but it's cool.
No, because I really do like. I want to tap into this because I know like a lot of people, if they do listen and they understand like how you've gone through it and you're going through it, and maybe they could also connect with it, especially if they know people who also have cancer. Or whatever the case.
Yeah. So I'm mad open about my journey with cancer too. So if anyone's out there listening and you know somebody or you have cancer and you just want a cancer friend, hit me up. I'm more than happy to talk to you.
We're not talking about zodiacs.
Right. We're talking about cancer. But so, okay, during COVID, I got like, COVID was so fucking crazy. But in a way, I think COVID like happened for me, like for a reason. You know what I mean? Like I was meant to have, I don't know. It's a weird way that the world happens. And I feel like COVID happened for me because like in order for me to be home and experience getting cancer instead of being like at work, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'll go through it. So I was living with a friend of mine, an ex-friend now, because I don't believe in living with rooming with like friends anymore, because that shit is like no good. It like doesn't work. So we're not friends anymore. So I was living in Bushwick with a friend, and it was just COVID like had everybody working remotely, and like things were just like tense like in the world. Like Black Lives Matter was like like there was a lot happening like in the world, you know. And
even
then,
now though.
Yeah, even now still, but like I think COVID was like when things started like bubbling and like boiling to the surface, you know. And then what happened? So then I was like, fuck this girl, I'm gonna move out. Like I'm not feeling it. Like we're not friends anymore. Like this is like going too far. Like I don't want to get into that. Like our beef, but like it wasn't cool with like how it all ended. And then I fucking, like, I'm in my bed one day and I, like, fucking, or I'm in the shower and I, like, feel a lump in my breast. And then I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
And this was after?
this was when I was still living with her. Yeah, like, as I'm, like, trying to move out. Like, I'm trying, like, we're beefing.
So you're in the shower, you're just like...
I'm, like, taking a shower.
You're just like, and you're like, whoa, what's this?
And I'm like, what is this? And it's probably, like, the
shit.
size of, like, a grape.
Really?
Like, and it was, like, hard.
Whoa.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
when did it develop? You're like,
yeah,
right.
I'm like, when the fuck did I, like, I didn't feel this, like, before.
Right.
Like, or maybe, like, was I washing myself good? Like, you know,
Right.
like, you know, I'm like,
Yeah.
wait. And then I'm, like, really, like, digging, like,
Right.
in here. And I'm like, yo, and then I feel like, not hard. My heart boob isn't, like, hard, but it's, like, more dense than, like, the rest of it, of the boob. And I'm like,
But that particular area, not the whole
no,
boob.
there was, like, just, like, okay, so there was, like, a tumor, and then, like, there was, like, also other, like, calcification, like, around it. So
Oh,
there was, like,
shit.
other stuff happening,
Right.
too. So then I'm like, yo, like, I'm fucking stressed. I'm like,
Right.
yo, like, my life is going to, like, what is happening right now to me? Like, I'm going through this whole, like, housing, like, fucking crisis with this girl.
Right.
I fucking feel this fucking lump in my tit. Like,
Right.
you
What
know,
the fuck
it's
is
fucking
life?
COVID.
Right.
Like, what? Like, what the hell is happening in the world? So, basically, so I go see my doctor, and they're like, yeah, you should go get, like, a mammogram. And then I go get a mammogram, and then they're like, yeah, you need to get a biopsy. Like, this looks like it could be, like, cancer.
Wow.
So I get a biopsy on fucking New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And then I fucking find out on New Year's Eve that it was positive
Wow.
for breast cancer.
So you find out the same day?
It was, like, the next day, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, New Year's
Day.
Day, basically.
Right.
I'm always going to remember that, like, day. I'm
Right.
actually, like, kind of happy that it did happen New Year's, because, like, I'll remember it better. Because, like, people,
Yeah,
the
like,
doctors
the
ask
day.
you, and I'm like, oh, God, do I have to go through my calendar? But now I'm like, oh, it's New Year's, you know?
Go with it. Like,
Yeah. So, yeah, it's estrogen positive breast cancer, which is, like, it's not the most aggressive kind, which is good. Like, it's, like, a
Okay.
slower progressing one. So there's, like, there's, like, HER2 negative, HER2 positive, and then there's, like, estrogen. I'm not going to go through I don't even really know, like, all the scientific, like, the different
Language.
names. I just know the one that I have is estrogen positive
Okay.
breast cancer, which means that it, like, feeds off my estrogen. So
And that's what you were getting to, and I want to jump too much, because
No,
I
that's
want to definitely hear the whole thing, but that's what you were getting into before, when you were talking about, like, being in, like, an early menopause, right?
So I'm in menopause. So they put me in order, since my breast cancer is estrogen positive, they want to stop feeding the cancer, right? So they want to stop my estrogen production. So that's why they put me in a medically induced menopause. So basically, every month I get a shot in my ass.
Still.
Every month. I got to see my doctor every month.
Wow.
Basically, get a shot in my ass, and basically.
Does it hurt?
I mean, it
You got
is.
used to it.
I'm used to it now, so, like, I'm not scared of needles or anything. I'm gonna just take my blood, just take everything, you know. I don't. Oh, I actually took my own blood one time. The guy was, like, mad cool. He's like, "Hey, you want to do it?" And, like, I thought he was joking, and basically he's like, "No, you for real? You want to do it?" And then I was like, "Okay." So he taught me how. I took my own blood.
Oh shit.
I did it, twice actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
But this is what's saving you.
This is what's saving me. Yeah,
Right.
basically.
Because, like, if you don't do it,
If I don't do it, my estrogen is gonna it's gonna come back, and
so
then
you have to do this for the rest of your life?
basically.
Wow.
So they found out. Well, when we found out, it was already stage 4, which means that
There's no going back.
well, stage 4 means that it leaves the main site and it traveled somewhere else. So it went from my breast to my pelvic bone. So basically, there's stage 2 means that it might have traveled to your lymph node, and then once it goes to your lymph node, like, your lymph node basically once it leaves your lymph node, it's in your bloodstream, and it can go and it can land anywhere. And then basically the cancer leaves your lymph node. You have mad lymph nodes in your armpit, basically. So basically the cancer tries to leave, and it leaves, and now once it leaves your lymph node, it's in your bloodstream, and it tries to find the next best place. Like, ooh, where do I want to go? So then how the doctor explained it to me was the hip bone is really rich with nutrients. So that's where the cancer goes.
Wants to go to.
And it goes and it tries to feed there. So stage 4 means that it left the main site and it went somewhere else and it landed somewhere else. So
they don't know where?
Huh?
But they don't know where?
What do you mean?
You said somewhere else, like.
Yeah, so it went to my hip bone.
Okay, it goes to
yeah.
Okay.
So it went to my hip bone, and we found it, and it was already traveled somewhere else. So that makes it stage 4. That it travels to different spots,
Right.
So basically, I didn't know that. At first, we thought it was only stage 2, right? At first, she's like, "Yeah, you have it in your breast, and you have it in your lymph node." But we didn't know yet that it was in my hip bone. So she's like, all right, I want you to go freeze your eggs, because once you do chemo, you can't have a baby for 5 years after you do chemo. And I'm also on hormone treatment for my estrogen. That's why I'm in menopause.
It's a hormone blocker?
So it's basically hormone blocker. Yeah, to block my estrogen. So hormone therapy. So basically, I needed hormone therapy and chemo, and also radiation for the hip.
How was chemo like?
Chemo wasn't even that bad, honestly. It wasn't.
It's not how people drag it out to be, or what?
I mean, it could be. They didn't give me the worst drug. There's one drug called the Red Devil. That's what the fuck they call it. That's what
that's the low key slang. That's yeah, I got you. Yeah.
That's not the medical name.
The patients be calling it that's just the Red Devil.
The Red Devil, actually, that's what makes you throw up every day and shit yourself and stuff. That's the one that's really bad. I mean, chemo is not a walk in the park either way, but the ones that I was on, Explain
it a little bit.
So basically my first chemo, I was alone. The first time I go there, I'm by myself, and which was a trip in itself. And I'm the youngest one, out of all these old people doing chemo. I fell asleep right away. I knocked out. It just takes a lot out of you. But they also inject you with Benadryl because you could be allergic to it. So if you're allergic to it, they don't want you to have an allergic reaction to
while you're doing it.
While you're doing it, so they just inject you with mad Benadryl, and then you just knock out. So I knocked out. The first couple of times they inject you with Benadryl, but once they see that you're good with it, then they stop.
So then they stop knocking you out.
After the third chemo.
Really?
After the third session, basically.
Okay. And then how does that start? Is there a difference of how you feel?
No, not really. I mean, the first couple ones, I was just knocked out. I was asleep maybe all week. I was just in bed sleeping. I was mad constipated. I remember this is gonna be nasty, but I was so constipated that when it finally came out 5 days later, the whole fucking bowl was full.
5 days later?
5 days later, because the whole fucking toilet bowl was full, basically.
That's crazy.
Not to be graphic about it, but and I was crying, I couldn't, and it couldn't come out, and I was is this how fucking childbirth feels like? I'm and they tell you to take laxatives because that couldn't happen.
Right.
But I didn't. I took it the day that I really needed to shit. I took
you couldn't hold
I couldn't hold it. But then I'm crying on the fucking toilet. I'm God, fucking come save me.
Wow.
And then finally I got it out, but TMI. But
right, no.
But
that was after that. Did you still have a buildup, or
no? After that one, it kind of I started taking the laxative.
Was that an effect from the chemo?
That was from the chemo. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's from the chemo. You get constipated, and then you lose your hair, obviously.
Right. Your hair's growing back though.
I've been keeping it short, actually.
Nice.
Okay, you want to hear something funny too? So I don't know if you remember, like during COVID, people were like being drastic and shaving their heads and doing crazy hairstyles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I can do that. Like, I want to like buzz my head. I always wanted to buzz my head, you know? And then I never did it. And then boom, you get cancer. You have to, you know what I mean? I'm like, the universe has a funny way of like making you do something that you always wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it's in this kind of circumstance, but like, you know, but like it's funny. Like the universe has a sense of humor, I think.
It definitely does.
It really does. Yeah.
So you were able to smoke weed still during that time? Or
So I like went completely sober for when I started chemo. I went like completely sober. I didn't want to like anything else. I didn't want to be on anything, you know. Then I remember, like right after I finished chemo, my mom took me to see a Knicks game, Knicks versus the Lakers, and I had like one White Claw. I remember, and I was like turned. I was like fucking like. Turn off like one White Claw, and then so after that my friends had like I had to be in chemo for like 3 months, so it's like once a week for 3 months, and then after that my friends had like a little like party for me when I finished chemo. Nice. And then I got real fucked up, like I got really drunk at yeah,
more than one White Claw.
No, yeah, because I was drinking, but like also my tolerance like was really low because I stopped drinking for like 3 months. Yeah. And then like I remember I just puked like everywhere, but
you had a good time.
But I had a great time. Yeah, that was the point. my friends pulled through.
Right.
And yeah,
when you were like in the heat of it and not necessarily knowing the direction that the cancer was going to take you, or how was your mind, and what were you thinking about? Who was around you? Did people act differently towards you? I want to get into the breakdown of that.
Yeah, so cancer really taught me like about myself, and about my circle and the people that like I have in my life, and like how it taught me how I wanted to be treated. You know what I mean? Like you grow up and like you really realize that, like this life is too short and this life is too precious, that you can't like, you have to do what's best for you, you know? And like, so I got a Reiki session done once, like when I first found out I had cancer. And she was also like a psychic medium, right? And I told her about my cancer and she's like, you know what? You know why you have breast cancer, right? And I'm like, no. She's like, because you do too much for people. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, that's like your heart chakra is like, your heart chakra is blocked and you're doing too much for everybody and you're not doing enough for you. And that's why, and you're collecting people's karma. Wow. And I was like, what? I was like, okay. I'm like, that makes sense. And it does make sense because with me, and I feel like my friends, I'm always the one that shows up. Like, I'm always the one to say yes, you know? I was always the one to be there, you know? Right. And I'm like, and I'm always helping people out, you know? And I'm just like, it's time to take care of me, you know? And, like, that's what she was saying. Like, it's time for you to take care of yourself.
So what does that mean to you?
So over the past couple years, I've really been, like, just trying to become more spiritual and like trying to learn about myself, like my divine being, I guess. And just really like setting boundaries with my friends also, like in the physical world, just like really
I feel like you were always spiritual though.
Yeah, I was, but even like trying to learn more so about like there's this whole like I'm even trying to like learn how to like heal myself too. Like I'm really trying to like learn, like I've been like reading a lot of articles and watching a lot of like different documentaries about people have like stage 4 like brain cancer and stuff. And this girl that I follow on Facebook, she had this brain cancer, really rare. She had like 1 year to live and she totally reversed it. And she did that by eating clean, like eating straight alkaline.
Have you read or saw any of the teachings of Dr. Sebai?
Yeah, he's from Honduras, and my mom's from Honduras, and he talks about going alkaline, and I follow a lot. I follow him and his family. Well, he's passed away
he
now,
died,
but his family, I still like follow. They still practice.
You feel like they
him.
killed him?
What? I don't know. I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, and I'm always gonna say, yeah, they got him, but like, he died from pneumonia, and like you could really die from pneumonia. So I don't know, but also Kim Porter died from pneumonia, but did he kill her? You know, so who knows? But yeah. So I mean, I haven't been really eating clean. Like, I've been eating meat. Oh, I've been learning that like your body tells you what it needs to.
It does.
So like lately I've been learning that I can't really eat like red meat like that anymore, and I can't really eat like pork like that anymore because it doesn't like sit well in my body anymore, you know? So it's like making changes like that to like kind of adjust the way. But I do want to go full alkaline for like a month. Like Dr. I think it's Sebi or I don't even know how to say it. Sebi or Sebi?
I think it's Sebi.
Okay, so he had like a 40-day fast where
if he's Honduran, it would technically be Sebi.
But he lived there, but he wasn't born there. I don't think.
Right.
Anyway, but he had a 40-day fast where like he cured people from AIDS.
Let's look it up. I want to look it up, but continue.
From AIDS, from like people who have herpes, like everything is curable. And I've been also reading that cancer.
Sorry, is the smoke bothering you?
No, you're good. I just uncrossed my legs.
Alright, Dr. Sebi, Why does it not say where he's from? Like, what the fuck?
Just say Dr. Sebi born or birthplace.
Honduras.
Oh, he was born there? Okay. Mm-hmm. He has a whole village there in Honduras.
His real name was Alfredo Bowman.
Mm-hmm. But he has a whole village there that people go and they go to heal, and I want to go there.
Would you ever do ayahuasca there?
Hell yeah, I want to do it. Do they do that there?
Probably.
I don't know if they do that there.
Why not?
I don't know.
All right, let's look it up.
Look it up. I think that's a different, like, I want to do ayahuasca. I think I want to go on a spirit quest and like, for real, no.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, we had a spirit quest too. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
We fucking did acid.
Yeah.
No, we did acid together one time. That shit was dope.
A few times.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah. Those were interesting fucking moments too.
Yeah.
Long ass conversations.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, wait. All right. So, do they do ayahuasca in Honduras?
I mean, I don't know.
Oh shit! Top 10 yoga and ayahuasca retreats in Honduras.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if it is it.
Yeah,
like,
the 10 best shamanic retreats in Honduras. There's mad. There's.
But not at Dr. Sebi's place. I don't think. Nah, well,
who knows? It's
maybe.
probably correlated.
They probably know.
Yeah.
They probably know the spot to go to for that. But I would do that. I really do.
So what are your thoughts about DMT? And like, what are your thoughts about psychedelics?
I mean,
why does that bring the mind to such an interesting perspective, if you will, right? Because you talk to people that haven't done psychedelics and they really
they're just like they're stuck in the matrix. I
in
feel
a way.
like. Yeah, and like I think I don't think you need psychedelics to be able to grow spiritually or even see like the way, you know, like there's a lot of ways that you can release DMT without a drug. Like you can you can breathe. Like there's breathing techniques that you can do and you can release DMT and you trip like just from breathing. But I think like psychedelics is just a tool that you can use.
Would you say that's a form of meditation as well too then?
What?
Like
breathing?
The breathing techniques.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's different ways there's different breathing techniques. I don't know if there's different types of like there's like a fire breath and then there's like lion breath. I don't really know that much about it, but it was another topic that I really wanted to like research and get into. breathing and meditate. I need to be better about meditating too. But there are people that like meditate and they just like go into like a different realm, you know? I don't know. Do you meditate?
Yeah, I have. And I've
yeah.
also, I've had an experience where it was amazing. I've spoke about it so many times,
Yeah.
but I'll say it again. It's like, it was a really cool experience because I read somewhere that if you go somewhere that is difficult to get to, awkward to be in, and if you can meditate there, you can jumpstart an OBE, so an out-of-body experience. So
for
one
example,
day,
like if it's awkward to be where, like.
So I'll give you an example because this is what happened to me, right?
Okay.
So I took that.
Were you sober?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I was, all right, I found the photo, good. So I was at Central Park. There was this fence, like 2 fences. It was snowing, and there's like a fake waterfall mountain type shit, right?
Okay.
Like, cause it's Central Park.
Yeah.
But it was hard to get to. It was awkward because there's people walking by and shit. And you just like jumping a fence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Central Park is still kind of like,
Yeah.
motherfuckers looking at you like, you know? So I jumped over the fence. There's mad snow. I had to trust like the earth, if you will, to get up to where I needed to be. And then I started to meditate. So then.
You were on the snow, like.
I was on top. At that point, like, it was no snow over there, but like, I had to pass the snow to get there.
It was like winter.
Tight,
Okay.
yeah. So. That's how to pass it to you.
I know, thank you. I would, but if I didn't have this thing tomorrow,
No, I totally understand. So, I close my eyes. And you know, in meditation, you think of nothing.
Right.
So I'm thinking nothing. I'm just letting go of everything, right? And then I start to see like this purple skies and purple mountains. Like, no, not purple mountains. Purple skies and one mountain. And on top of that one mountain, there was like one flower, like a purple flower. And I'm just flying around this shit.
Okay.
I'm like, yo, this is like my nirvana. Like, it felt like amazing, you know?
Yeah.
But this is the trip. That was in my mind, right?
Yeah.
So when I came back to my body, this fucking tree was calling out to me. I'm like, why is this tree calling out to me out of all the trees that are there? Like, why is this one tree calling out to me? So I go up to the tree, and all over this tree was 2 eyes closed and 1 eye open.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wow.
And then,
that's crazy. That looks like a real eye.
Right?
Oh my God, was there someone like living in the tree?
Nah.
Imagine if somebody was in the tree and they're just like, hello, peeping at you.
That would be creepy.
That'd
But
be
this shit was
creepy.
all over the tree.
Oh, okay.
And then, yo, like, you know what was even more crazy? Is that I showed my sister this shit years later, right? And then she noticed something in the eye that I never seen.
What is that?
Doesn't it look like a face screaming? You see the 2 eyes, the nose, and then the mouth screaming?
Oh, shit. That's crazy. It does look like that. Oh my God. Whoa.
Yeah.
I just saw, if I looked sideways.
Right.
That's
Right.
crazy. That, what? Oh my God, I just got chills.
Right.
So what do you think? How
So
do you
then,
interpret that?
exactly. So then, like, the 2 eyes closed look mad peaceful, right?
Yeah.
They look like, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm resting, right?
Yeah.
Shit. Sometimes do you want to know everything?
Yeah, what?
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
That 1 eye is like, do you really want to know everything? Because it can make you go crazy.
I met this girl actually in a bar, and she's mad cool. And we were talking about shit like this, and she's like, yeah, I had to close my third eye. And I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, like, I opened my third eye one time, and, like, I had to close it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Why would you do that? Like, that's a gift, you know? She's like, no, I had to close it. It was too much. And then she never really got into, like, I wanted to ask her more questions. I was like, wait, what? Like, how did you close it? Like, what? How did you open it? Like, you know, like, she didn't get into it. But she's like, no, I had to close it because it's, like, too much. It's, like, it's too much for people.
Torment. It's torment.
Like,
you saw that fucking face?
Yeah.
That is the feeling, I feel
That's
like.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And even if you look at it close.
But, like, how do you think that had to
Even if you look at it close, like, regular, it looks like a real fucking eye. If
yeah,
you look at it like that,
it does look like an eye.
a
Yeah.
real motherfucking eye, right?
Yeah.
But then when you look at it sideways, you see the face.
That's crazy. Did
And you know
ever
what's crazy too? Not a lot of people could see it. So I was on this dude's podcast.
Yeah.
And I showed him, and he couldn't see it.
Really?
Yeah, he couldn't see it at all. I'm like, oh shit. I realized not many people could see it.
Did
But you see it, right?
Yeah,
It's
like bright as day.
Yeah.
Have you gone back to that tree to see if it's still there?
It's not there.
Really?
I went back.
Oh shit.
Couldn't find it.
Damn, that's crazy. So how do you think that? What do you think that meant in terms?
Or I don't even know if it was there and I couldn't find it. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't just like
or
find
maybe
a specific
maybe
tree.
it closed its eye. Maybe it just shut.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But that shit was all over the tree, yo.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, why out of like coming from this experience,
Yeah.
why would that one tree call out to me? And I looked at the other trees if they had it. None of them did.
Wow.
That was the only tree that did.
Was it like two eyes and
It's
then this
crazy.
one up here, or was it like?
No, it's all over the tree.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I just took a picture of that because I wanted to.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I need proof.
Yeah.
Because
right,
like this,
Right.
this is crazy. And I took
Yeah.
a picture of the tree itself.
Oh wait, let me see the tree. It's
You can't
okay.
see it, but it's like the zoomed in version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you think that experiencing that after your meditation, like what do you think the red flower or the purple flower flying over that and that is tied into this?
So I believe in God, right?
Like do you believe in God like is it like a person or like what is your vision of God?
I think that, I think that all these like the Bible, the Quran, like all these religious texts, like scratch the surface to what God,
Yeah.
like, because there's a lot of words in the Bible that resonate and hit forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Forever. And then there's also certain events that occurred within the Bible that you could find evidence for today in society.
Word.
So
yeah.
like there's weight
yeah.
in these words. But I also feel that there is weight in the spirituality, the world of like our indigenous people.
Do you believe in like one consciousness? Like everybody is part of like one world consciousness type thing?
I do. I read this story one time called The Egg by Andy Weir.
Yeah, you showed me this, yeah.
And I feel like that really hits hard and hits
Yeah.
home in a way that could represent what it could be.
Can you explain it again?
Yeah,
like the,
so like
the point of it?
basically that we're all living the experience. We're all like living separate lives, but we're all one being. Like
Word,
in terms
okay.
of like, I'm you, you're me, this
Yeah.
person's this person. Like, and we're all just having our own experience within
Yeah.
that time, and we all get
Right.
to experience everybody's experience
Right.
before we technically die, apparently.
Okay.
But I think that I can't even say if that's it either. I just think that our brains are so powerful that it could be whatever you want it to be, honestly. Like,
That's true,
I really
yeah.
think that our brains hold that weight. But I do think that there are certain points in history that really connect with people strongly. But I think there's a lot of in history that people ignore as well. You know what I mean? Like, we could talk about how there's, Jews and there's like Muslims and there's Christians and there's all these things. But like, none of them want to like also acknowledge the indigenous people
Right,
that like
yeah.
had their own spiritual
Yeah.
like ways of living but why? Because they took their land and like
Yeah.
fucking like it
Yeah.
was like, nah, this is mine now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So then, but what happens to their history?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What happens to their teachings?
Word.
And then what happens to the understanding of the earth? Because they had that.
Word.
I don't see that.
A lot of, like,
I don't
ancient-
see these religions having that really. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not like they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Word, yeah.
So there's like a little difference within that too. So there's like, I feel like if we were to like actually come to a point, because I feel like the cultures and religions are like the division of humanity. You know what I mean? Because that's what's really constantly dividing us in a way.
Yeah.
Like if we didn't have that, I wonder how the world would be if we were actually coming together in a collective sense
Yeah.
of just improvement. You know,
Word.
and if we need to do this for the earth, then
I
do
think
this for
that time is coming though. Like
yeah, what makes you say that?
Well, because I don't know
Do
if
you want this?
No, yes, you can eat it. There's also a lot of talk about, so the age of Aquarius is now, like, we're in it. So there's a lot of talk about,
Explain that to me.
I don't know.
'Cause I've heard that many
I don't
times.
really know. So basically, okay,
I don't know.
we can look, I know some of it, but so we're in the age of Aquarius now, and that's supposed to bring a whole new, like collective like understanding that like we need to make change, like we need to do better for the earth, like we need to like, like come together, and like there's we gotta.
Do you really see that happening? Look at the war right now. There's
Exactly,
mad wars
exactly.
still. There's mad shit
Word.
going on still.
Yeah, so
like, do you really see that happening? I don't.
So I think there's gonna be like there probably will be like World War III or something, but after that, then people are gonna come and like rebuild and like come together and start a fresh planet all over again, and we're gonna lose all the technology. We're gonna lose like it's gonna be like starting over all over again.
Oh, so you think it would be like World War III would be like such
that's gonna end? It's
devastation that, like,
so bad that it's gonna just kill like everybody, and then like people have to start all over. Like New York is gonna like fucking sink probably, or like we're dead. Like like
Right.
and so and then there's gonna be just so much like chaos, and like everyone's just gonna die, and then the people who survive that are gonna have to like rebuild the earth, and then that's when
Do you think that happens in our lifetime?
probably
Really?
maybe yeah maybe who knows.
Who do you think does it first? Us or Russia?
I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
I almost
I
got
don't
my
know.
cup.
Maybe. I think they might come for us. Well, this whole shit with Gaza and stuff, and I think like I don't know. People don't like us right now because we're supporting like Israel, and Iran is like right there, and like I think they're getting involved, and I don't know. It's just not looking good. So I think people might come. They come for us. They might hit us first. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
So I got this part in the podcast, right, that I ask the individual that's here, I say, hey, can you give me a question that I could take out into society? Uh-huh. And I go ask that question to anyone.
Okay. What questions have people asked before in the past?
So many. So many questions.
So give me like 2 or 3.
So many questions. All right.
I don't want to ask the same thing.
This was the last question. Are you happy?
Are you happy?
Yeah. And then another question was, what would you do for free?
Okay, my question.
And just a bunch of different questions.
If you can give it your if you can look back and give advice to your 5-year-old self, like what would it be?
Okay. What would you do? That's a good one.
What would I give my advice to my 5-year-old self?
5 years old? Are they even gonna understand?
Okay, 10.
What if it's like
10
too
year
much?
old. Okay, what maybe like 12.
12?
12. I think you're like what, in 6th grade? Like.
All right. So the question is.
The question is, if you can go back and give advice to your 12-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
Boom.
So, Miss, if you could go back and give yourself advice to your 12-year-old self, what would it be?
To I have more guidance, to my parents to guide me to a lot of different things that I did not have, and I had to actually get that from the street to guide me to where I'm at now, and I didn't have my parents to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
My advice would be just if you have an urge for something, like something that you want to do, like don't be scared, like just do it. Like I held back a lot, you know, like as a kid. So I think just doing it, just do whatever you want to do and don't give a fuck. Like
what made you hold back when you were a kid?
Just like fear, just
of what?
Fear of being like maybe doing the wrong thing, or fear of like getting in trouble for something, or just fear of like standing out, conform. Like I just wanted to like conform to like be like everybody else. So like I said before, I grew up around like a lot of white kids because I moved up to the suburbs, and like I remember going to my mom and I was like, why can't my name just be my name's Carly Andra Nunez Restrepo, right? I'm like, why can't my name just be Ashley? Why can't I have like blonde hair and blue eyes? You know, like I was really like sad about it. I was like, why can't I have straight like blonde hair? You know, and I really wanted blue eyes. You know, and I'm just like, my mom's like, yo, that's not you. You know, so like, just like trying to fit in, you know, to like that kind of like standard. Just like just do what you want to do. Be your own like person, you know.
What made you think, or what influence did you have around in that time to make you feel that way?
To feel like I grew up in like a white town, you know, and like I was one of the only like Hispanic,
Latinas?
yeah, Latinas in school, you know, like. I had boobs at like 6th grade, and like I was like the first kid that had boobs, you know. One of the only girls that had boobs. The other girl that had boobs, she like failed a couple times, so she was like older than us. But like, you know, I was like one of the only girls that had like a body like mad young, you know. I just felt like out of place, you know, being like in a predominantly white like town, you know. And then I tried to like, you know, I had a diverse-ish group of friends. Like we had like, I had a black friend. We had like the first gay kid that ever like came out like in school. Like he was like one of my best friends, you know. My other friend's a lesbian. Like we had like a real like diverse group of friends. Like our close knit friends was like mad diverse. But like in that, outside of that, it was like just like white city. It was kind of like Trump town, you know, like a lot of Trumpers.
How do you feel about Trump?
I think he's fucking hilarious. He's fucking hilarious. I mean, he's fucking dumb as a doornail, but like he's funny, you know. I don't think he can do like this country any good, but I mean, he's funny. He's a fucking TV personality. Like, come on, like he's gonna make the TV ratings go up. But that's smart for him. But like, I don't think he's a good president
For this country?
Yeah, no way. But he says some crazy outlandish shit for sure.
How do you think about Kamala Harris?
I think she's a better choice
Really?
than Trump. Yeah.
Why?
Because she knows her shit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think she's better than him?
I mean, like, to be honest with you,
People think she's a corrupt cop, you know, and I don't like cops.
she put a lot of people in prison.
Yeah, she
But
did.
I mean, some people say that's false. I'm like,
I don't really know that much about her to have like a strong opinion, but I mean, I think anyone's better than Trump. Do you think he's good?
I think that I speak to a lot of people from like all around the United States, right?
Yeah.
And some people that support him, I don't like them at all. Like they're like the type of like
a lot of people are
arrogance.
racist.
A little bit heavy with the like just hate and anger towards shit.
His father was KKK, you know that.
No, for real?
Yeah, his dad. Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's for real. His father's KKK, yeah.
I'm gonna Google this.
Yeah. So, this says that Trump's father was arrested twice, and one was involved a Klan riot.
Oh shit.
Yeah. He was detained at a KKK rally. So yeah, he's definitely involved with that stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now you do.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just the thing that is, I feel like, true within what he speaks about is like certain, like he calls bullshit, you know, like with certain things that I feel like in society people don't call bullshit on. And
he also speaks a lot of bullshit too.
At the same time. But it's just the in-between is what captivates certain people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it also captivates the minds. So I think that, like, and it's a lot of, like, same thing with Andrew Tate Same thing with like a lot of these like figures that have a certain hold on like what the masculine mind should be or blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, but I think that they do hold some weight of truth to certain things that they speak about, and then other things is like it's like with anybody and with anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you're gonna be a real man or you're gonna be a real person, rather, you know what I mean, you're not gonna be following like what this person or that person is saying. You're gonna have your own direction,
Right?
because you have your own like experience in life and you feel your own way about it because you've had your own experience. You know what I mean? You don't have to like be so obliged to listen to this person or that person. I feel like you know, people get so upset, and I think that's like the part that is interesting to me about Trump. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that he uses it very well because he knows what will get certain people upset and certain people not upset. So now, like, it comes to a point where, like, I just don't. I believe more in what he's saying than the other person because at least, okay, if he's a piece of shit, whatever, because at least what he's saying, I can believe that's what he believes.
He doesn't, though.
But what I'm saying in the perspective of how it looks like, you know what I mean, and how it appears. I'm not saying
he's
if it's
an actor.
right.
He's an actor.
Yeah, I'm not saying if it's right or wrong.
So you believe him? Even
no, I'm not saying if it's right or wrong because I don't know the person. That's with anything or anyone. Some people could look very convincing. You know what I mean? Like.
So what are you saying? But you believe him?
No, I think that he has a good way in his delivery. Like he seems honest to people, and he seems like what he is saying is more so. What should we call it? Like straight up. It looks more straight up. And then when you're looking at the left, you know, they look like more like they're hiding shit. You know what I mean? Even though like it's all smiles and it all look. And then what's going on here and then what's going on there and then
so
why is shit going on?
You're talking about like the appearance of things. That's what it looks like, face value.
Right, because then even if you're looking at the left, right, like they're saying they're for us and everything like that, but like. Look how much shit is going on. Why is money being sent here and there and doing like?
I mean, they're both. Like, they're two wings of the same bird. You know,
right. I've also had that feeling where it's like I feel like they're in
both.
cahoots,
They're both corrupt.
Like,
I mean, they're both like. There's also they're both puppet. Like each side, it doesn't matter because like shit is happening behind the scenes that even the president is being controlled. You know, to do things.
I mean, Biden looked like he could like.
No, but I mean, like, of course, he's, like, asleep half the time. But, like, I feel like the president also, like, he doesn't have the most control of, like he...
He's a puppet.
He's a puppet, too, you know? He's the face of what's happening behind the scenes.
So who do you think really controls America? Do you
think
it's, like, families?
Fucking, like, reptilians or something. I don't know. There are rich families that do, like...
Like Rothschilds.
Like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers.
Right.
I believe in some of that, yeah.
You know, the Rothschilds have ownership of a certain portion in Antarctica.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a bunch of countries and then the Rothschilds.
That's crazy. They also, that's crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird. Yeah.
Like, why?
I mean, they own, like, all of these families, they own, like, I don't know if it's the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers, they own, like, Federal Reserve. Or the Federal Reserve, like, they back the fucking, like, money, basically. So, like, all the money that is indebted to, like, that all this debt is, like, owed to, like, one family, basically. Like, they're the ones that, like, print the money. They print the money, and, like, it's, coming from them.
But even money, right? Like, what is it?
Right? It's nothing. Yeah. Like...
At least before it was attached to gold, right? So it had some substantial value, I guess, because like people hold praise to gold.
Yeah.
And I've had this conversation before. Like my mom, she gave me this chain. It's lapis lazuli, lapis lazuli. It has two different ways to say it, but like this was man's first sought after stone. It was looked at as more precious than gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how much it's worth now?
What?
Like nothing.
Really?
It's like cents. Yeah. It's like. It looks beautiful.
But hold on to that, yeah.
But the thing is that it doesn't matter. Like it's just what people hold value of in that time. So then what the fuck is it then? It's just perspective. It's just perception. It's just like because this person says it's $2 million, it's $2 million. You know?
That's why when the world goes to shit and everyone dies, then we're gonna come back and rebuild the earth, and then people are just gonna like trade again. People are just gonna like trade goods. Like that's gonna be currency.
Do you think?
You know?
that is the way, or that is the way it should be?
I think that's the way it should be. Like, I wish I could fucking like I wish I had a backyard and I could grow a garden and just fucking grow my food, and then maybe my neighbor has a garden and or maybe my neighbor has pigs or eggs and we can trade, like stuff like that. Like, I would love to like have some sort of like barter system that in place instead of having to like pay.
Right.
And then that makes like everything more valuable too. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm working for this. Like, I'm helping the earth. I'm actually like growing something, and like you learn about the earth and you learn how to take care of the land. Like right now, Bill Gates owns most of the fucking farmland in the United States.
Yeah. Isn't it like 700,000 acres?
I don't even know the number. He
amount?
owns the most farmland. He is actually so I don't know if you know about Beyond Meat, Beyond Burgers and stuff.
So right now we're talking about why you think Bill Gates is the devil.
This has to do with it, yeah.
Okay.
So he's pushing like I don't know why he's getting into vaccines and stuff too. Like he's pushing vaccines, and like I don't know if you got the COVID vaccine. Did you?
No.
You didn't.
No.
So he's all for vaccines and stuff.
Right.
And there's a whole other like conspiracy with like vaccines and shit too, but I just don't trust the guy. Like he's never invented anything. Like he's just like has money and just wants to like get involved with everything that he has no knowledge about. And also Beyond Burger. So going back to the Beyond Burger, like what do you know about farming? Like what do you know about food? Like what do you really know about this industry? You know what I mean? Like you don't know shit. You just want to get involved and like you just want to like monetize everything, So
But
like
that's a huge way. I can't even imagine how much money that is, because if he's gonna be feeding America basically, right? That's his own.
But also like Beyond Meat is like really fucking bad for you.
Right.
Like it's so bad.
Vegans be eating it, right?
No, but you don't really know what like is going into your body. Like he's pushing all these foods that like he's really like about that. Like he's like, yo, the new meat like is gonna be like we're gonna be eating this now. Like this is gonna be our like norm. And he's like pushing like really dangerous like foods on us that it contain really like toxic chemicals, and like all these pesticides and stuff are really like killing us from like the inside out.
Not only that, there's so much other shit that's killing us too.
Well, yeah, that too. But like, why? If he knows this, like, why is he like getting involved with this? Just to make money.
Why do people do that, right? Like, what is it inside them that chooses to have that urge?
Like, it's just greed. It's greed.
Yeah, it's never enough, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what is that trait. What do you think it is?
What, greed?
Mm-hmm.
It's just once you have a taste of something, then
it's all more and more.
It's just more and more.
Is with everybody?
I mean, it can. Like, it's like once you get a taste of like a drug, some people become just addicts,
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. If you get a taste of money, like people get like addicted to like that kind of, and like look at all these like 1%ers, like politicians and all this. They just want to like make all these laws to what like they help themselves and like separate like the poor and the middle class, and like we're all just poor now. Like there's no middle class.
Right. If you
like,
really think about it.
Yeah, we're all just poor, and like we rely on them to like stay alive.
Right.
So I think it'd be better if we just all just like. We should just start a revolution.
But that's the thing, is like people say
like
have
how?
a revolution.
How?
Then what does it lead to? I feel like it replicates the same thing.
What? It does go, yeah. Like you have to destroy something in order for something new to come about, I feel like.
New to come out to like have a certain benefit for a specific few, and then other people are secluded. It's always the same thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like
how are people secluded if you're trying to do better for everyone,
It doesn't like. I mean, I'm saying in a perspective of like I'm from Venezuela, right? So like that's happened there.
Yeah.
Chavez, he helped millions of people, right? Millions of working class people. Some would say he was like this liberator in a way, you know, because there was these elite parties taking control, and same thing. Venezuela was looked at like America. People used to move there for work, you know, like from all around the world. But then what happened to it? Chavez took control and was dictator for like 20 years, right? He had the working class people move up and become the higher echelon, right, and take control. But then what happens when you give a bunch of broke people money? They don't know how to, they misuse it. And Venezuela's economy got tanked. And and they owe a lot of money to Russia and China. And that's why they're in the state that they are right now. Maduro is, again, president. I don't, like, he's gonna be a dictator too, the same shit. And he's gonna do the same thing and keep it going. Because at the end of the day, like, I feel like, you know, people have the right sentiment when it comes to like the beginning of a revolution, but then it ends up becoming the same thing.
So how do we stop that?
Right.
Or how do you
That's
like?
the-
How
that's
do you
the
actually
question.
make change?
Right. That's the
Yeah.
actual question. That's like the real way to look at it. And I think it has to be, like, to be honest with you, it's I think all these cultures and all these like ways of like people viewing themselves is what separates us and divides us. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're like Indian, Black, Asian, like we're all struggling.
Word, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, but it's also not being shown because of those that divide us, you know, not only within those that control us, but those around us, you know?
There's people that like just aren't willing to learn too. There's people that don't want to learn about other cultures or other, you know, traditions or ways of living. The people that are just ignorant, you know, like
That's true too.
it's just like,
But-
you know, you're not born like racist, you're not born classist, you're not born sexist, you're not born with all that. You're taught, you know. So like with being taught a certain way, like people are closed off to like learning other, like you just have to be open, you know, about learning, or like willing to even like learn about other people,
Yeah.
you know. But like at the end of the day, like people just, there are people that just want better for themselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get what I'm saying in terms of like the cultures and all that divide us, because like that's what makes people believe that's what they are and nothing else. You know, to be truly open would be to understand that all that is a sense of division, because it's a perception of what you think you are based out of the people you say you are. You know what I mean?
But you
Instead of,
are,
like,
but in a way, you do come from Venezuela. Like that is who you are. Like you are
partially, yeah.
Yeah, partially.
Yeah,
but
but
like,
it's also like a mindset as well, right? Because I grew up here, and I have a understanding of New York, you know, and
and you're a New Yorker too,
right?
Yeah.
But it's like, but the thing is that even in Venezuela, there's a bunch of different people from Venezuela from all around the world.
Yeah.
It's like all this shit is like, what are we talking about here? You know, like if we're looking at the world doesn't know the borders. It's just the world. You know? So like we're all just in the world. You know what I mean? Like I think that perception of these cultures, and that's what I mean. Like it's like all that is a way to control us. You know, it's hard to like not. Even that is part of the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's a whole perception of like how people are taught and ingrained certain ways of being, and making sure that they keep themselves confined. Because like if people were to come together, for real, it would be way different. I feel like, imagine there was one language, right, that we all spoke. For real, English is the language that most people speak. Yeah, but like imagine if there was one language that everyone on Earth spoke. How would the world be?
But we have like we don't need to learn that. I mean, I think, why can't people learn more than one language? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why can't you learn other people's languages instead of having everybody like learn one, you know?
I get that too, but I'm saying in the aspect of so everyone could understand each other. As if there was one language that everyone were to speak throughout the entire world that we all understood.
Right.
I wonder how the world would be. That's what I'm coming from. It's like, you know, languages
that language
is also
love. Love is that language. And people don't love other people. Like there are some people that just don't love. Like love is really the answer to everything. I feel like
Love is the answer.
love is the answer. Love. I feel like people don't love other people. Like love is really the only like.
Didn't you say something about like I feel like one time you told me, didn't you have a bad trip one time? You were like love.
Oh,
You said
okay.
that,
I had
right?
a dream. Okay,
Right?
so like.
You told me some story about that, right?
Yeah. I had a dream one time that.
Shit, how long ago was that?
This
I
was
remember
like
that. That's
years
crazy,
ago, and that's
right?
crazy that you remember this.
Mhm.
I almost forgot about that dream. So I was like, okay, in this dream, I'm in this like dark house, and I don't know whose house it is. Maybe in the dream it was my house, but I don't recognize it. And I just remember like there was this like it was like the devil. Like the devil was in this house, and I just remember just like trying to like get away from it. Like it had hooves. Like it was like kind of like a bull. I think it was like all fours, but it was like the devil, and it was just like trying to get me. And I can just remember like how scared I was, and I just like ran down the hall and it's like chasing me. And I just remember just like going into the room and just like shutting the door, and I could hear it like running down the hall, and I'm just like love, and I just start like yelling it, and then it just like vanished. It just went away. I was like love. But honestly though, like, okay, not to sound corny either, but like that was kind of corny.
Not all that, right?
Not to sound corny, but like also with
That's
my cancer
funny.
journey, like I'm learning to just like love, like share more love. And like once you like learn to love everything and like
Right.
love people for like who they are, that's when your vibration, you learn your elevate, like your
Oh, yeah.
vibration like elevates,
OD.
you know? And that's when you start to heal. Like you can just start like, and that's when you're able to like manifest things for yourself, is like when you just like love and you just have compassion for people, you know, and you just
It's
like,
true.
you know, like,
You have understanding.
yeah. And like, I feel like people don't love like one another. Just like love your fellow man, you know, like love your neighbor, like just like love people, you know?
I guess it's because like people make it difficult to love sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah. If we're being honest.
Yeah, but really that's you. That's like on you. Like you're a reflection. That's if you're aggravated with somebody or like if someone pisses you off, that's really something you need to change about you.
In terms of how to view them.
Right. In terms of like why are you getting triggered by them? Like why are you feeling this way? Like that's really a reflection of you.
That's very true.
Yeah.
But I think it's also a response of like if you're seeing something and like it's rubbing you the wrong way, you're usually right.
Yeah, no,
So
your
it's like-
intuition's real. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like intuition's real. And I think like, you know, some people have like extra spidey like psychic sense about things, you know. But
I be right a lot of times.
me too. But like that doesn't mean like if someone's gonna do something like fucked up, like you still like
Nah, it's just like for me, it's not even like once I catch a certain vibe from someone, I just would rather not chill or not.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
and
You
that's
just-
it. I'm not gonna like douche or like
Yeah.
cause an argument or none of that.
you just separate yourself from the situation.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. But like
That's it.
yeah,
Because like for me, like I can't waste time thinking that way. You know what I mean? I
Word,
also
yeah.
can't like mix that type of energy. I don't like mixing. I feel like my energy is sacred. To be honest with you,
word.
like for real,
That's
like
how you should feel.
yeah,
about it.
like I know what I bring and where I bring it. So it's like I'd rather just make sure that it's the right vibe because I don't want to like be in the wrong vibe with people.
Right. Exactly.
Or because then I'm not in a good energy. I'm not in a good balance.
Yeah.
Like I want to make sure that if I am gonna pop out, it's gonna be a dope time. You know what I mean? Like,
Word,
or if I
yeah.
am gonna do something, it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's how it should. You always had a good vibe. Like you've always been like a genuine person.
No,
feel
I appreciate
like.
that.
Yeah, for
No,
real.
for that.
Yeah, you never bring like bad vibes to anything.
Nah, it's all about a good time. And then like once people fuck up the vibe, it's just like
Yeah.
fuck.
I feel you. Yeah. At that point, you just like separate yourself, and then, but always like if you need to like,
I'm very cautious.
yeah, you know. But
I'm
like,
just cautious. Like I like there was one dude. like he kept talking bad about people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I just like it was just too much. Like it's just like if you're talking so bad about people, it's like damn, like
He must hate himself, you know?
I don't
That's
know.
just a
It's just like
reflection of him.
I just don't like. I don't like that. If you're always talking bad about people, I'm
Yeah.
like I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
For me inside, I
Yeah.
just feel, I don't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know. It's just negative. It's just mad negative. I don't want to be around that. That's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like people who complain about everything left and right, I like people who find solutions. You
Solution
know,
focus.
it's like
Word.
solutions and like have
Instead of playing victim all the time.
yeah, just have more of a positive outlook because positive attracts positive.
Right.
So if you're always just like mopey and complaining all the time, I'm sorry, nobody wants to be around that shit. Like
Yeah.
like I mean like not like go getters, you know what I mean? Like not
Right.
positive people. Like
Yeah.
I find that the way you step out of your house every day is everything.
Yeah.
You know, like how are you thinking? What did you eat? Did you find yourself going to the gym? I go to the gym. You know, I've been like really
Yeah.
like taking care of myself.
That's good.
I like it. I find that it gives me energy throughout my day too. You
That's
know,
good.
so it's like that. I find to be a way to tackle this world.
Yeah.
This life is crazy. You know how it be, right?
Yeah,
But,
for
like
real.
when you have a better positive feeling about yourself and at the outlook of the world, I feel like you attract more good and you do more good and
And like
you end up-
also, so going back to like the collective conscious topic, I feel like once you put yourself into that positive mindset, you're also like helping those around you to also like adopt
Yeah.
that too as well.
That's
you know?
that's very true. I'm always the one. I never been stingy with my knowledge. I never
Yeah.
been stingy with like what I've learned about certain things. And I'm also very like upfront with it too in terms of like, yo, this is just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you have to feel about it too.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own way to feel about it. This is just what I feel about it because I've gone through this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And I'll explain it to you, and if you want to listen, you know, boom, I'll tell you what's up, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not for everyone to listen to. I've also realized that too. Like,
Yeah.
certain conversations aren't for everybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's for sure.
I remember one time, I was tripping with this old friend of mine, right? Like, me and him are no longer friends. He's like, I don't even know what's up with him in the world. I really don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we were on the train, right? And we're having this conversation, and I'm not even sure what we were even talking about, right? But out of nowhere, this, like, I don't even know if she was deranged. I don't know. So this lady on the train, she's just like, won't you guys shut the fuck up?
What?
And we're not talking about anything like about anyone. We're just like talking about like, I guess like deep life shit. Like I don't even know. It was when you're on psychedelics,
Yeah.
you're talking about some shit sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we're like, whoa, like what happened?
Yeah.
Like, are you good? And she's like,
Yeah.
and she just kept like saying, why don't you shut the fuck up? Like, talk about I forgot what she said. Like, don't talk about that shit here. Like I don't know. It was like some wild shit.
Yeah.
And mad random. And it just made me think like, wow, how certain words or certain
She was triggered by something that you guys were
Something.
talking about. Yeah.
yeah. But it was just so random, you know?
Yeah.
And she wasn't even next to us for real. She was like across.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Maybe she was like the devil in disguise or something. Maybe. You believe in that? Or like you believe in like God is one of us, like just a stranger on a bus, like that song, you remember?
Right.
Or do you believe that God can disguise himself as a person and just be like anybody, or the devil can disguise himself and be like anybody? Or maybe she was like a fallen angel or something. I don't know if you believe in any of that.
I've gone through certain experiences in my life, and I've spoke about it on the podcast too many times. But I feel like there's some weight to energies
Oh, hell yeah.
And there's way to our ancestors. So there is some cosmic lineage, if you will, that I feel like energy is passed on, you know?
Like generational traumas and stuff.
Right, I feel like
Yeah.
energy is passed on in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's just like, if you think about it, it's almost kind of inevitable, right? If you think about it, because like a parent will give it to their kid will give it to their kid, and
Yeah,
so on
for
and so
sure,
on.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It just keeps on happening. So, like, if you want to look at it in a spiritual sense, from soul to soul, you could look at it like that too. You could even just look at it from a biological sense, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it would just, it obviously gets passed down.
Yeah.
But I think that in terms of the God and devil, I think it's real.
You think they show up in like random people sometimes?
Yeah, I think it's in everybody. Like I
Okay.
think it's in you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I feel like
I
people
feel
have
that.
good thoughts and evil ass thoughts. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
and why do we have them in certain moments? I don't know. Why do
Yeah.
certain people act upon certain things? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they do certain things in certain moments. That's what they do.
Yeah.
You know, like I have my shit. You know, I feel like everyone has their shit. You know, but are you paying attention to it?
Word.
You know?
Just like learning about your own self,
Yeah.
mind.
And then like if you think of like Michael Che has this like a good joke where it's like the thing is about what's the criteria of going to hell though, because if you're talking to people like thousands of years ago,
It's like stealing a piece of bread
right,
in hell.
it would be shit that
Yeah.
like there's certain he's like there were certain things that were okay to do then, but it's not okay to do now.
Yeah, and
But
vice versa.
And then he was like, oh, but they both go to the same hell? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, so you're telling me some guy, he goes down there and he meets someone and he's like, he meets somebody and some guy goes up to him and he's like, oh, so what'd you do? He's like, oh, I killed a bunch of gay people. And then like the guy from like back then is like, oh, you guys can't do that anymore? And then he's like, nah. And then he's like, oh, what'd you do? He's like, oh, I ate meat on a Saturday or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's like what? Yeah, my belief is heaven. I believe heaven is a real place. I think hell is definitely a state of mind for sure.
I've definitely said that in one of my songs.
Hell's a state of
like
mind.
Personal hell, your own personal hell.
Hell is a state of mind, and like how you decide, like that person was probably living in their own hell. The person who called you on the train and said, "Shut the fuck up," that person was living a miserable life. Like they're probably like living in hell, experiencing it.
Right.
But like, I think heaven's real. I think heaven. Okay, so like when we die, this is what I think happens, right? I think we reincarnate for sure. I think we come back like multiple times, and
Yeah.
I think
What makes you say that?
because there's been mad evidence of people like dying and then like, okay, so children, for example, children have that veil, like they can still like communicate. I think children still haven't been wired to like, maybe from like the age of like birth to like maybe like 5 years old. After that, after 5, you're like forget, so like there's been mad stories about I've been getting like mad into like reincarnation too. After like my cancer journey, I've been like, I'm not scared of death anymore, so I've been like really into this like whole reincarnation stuff. So there's been stories of children like talking to their parents like, hey, like I was so and so, like or like my name is this, like, oh, like for instance, like make up a fake name, like Johnny says that there's this, actually in real life there's this kid who claims to be Princess Diana now. There's this like kid in like, I don't even know, Australia or something, you can look it up, but I don't forget what country he's from. He claims to be Princess Diana. He's like 3 years old.
Yeah, but anyone can claim to be anything.
He's 3 years old. How the hell does he know? But he knows like the son, like he knows like the names of like the family members, and like the mom is like never told him like any of this.
Okay, that's crazy.
Okay, but there's like other like instances too where I've watched like maybe you can easily say, oh, maybe the mom told him like the names of like all the royal family, but there's been other cases too where like I heard the story about this girl that was like maybe 3 or 4, and she was like telling the mom like, yeah, like this is where like I died or something, or this is where
I think I heard that story.
I was killed, and like they actually like went to where the girl like named like the place and location. They went there, they dug up the body, they actually solved the murder. Like they actually like found like, so basically in her past life she was killed basically by this dude. I guess I don't know what the story was between her and the dude. I don't know what relationship they had, but now she died, whatever, and then she was reborn into like this kid.
That's crazy.
And then the kid told the mom all this. They went to the location, found that like, yeah, they dug up a body. It was like a missing person.
Holy shit.
And they solved the fucking case.
That's crazy.
You know? So I really believe in like reincarnation. I think we come back, and I believe in soul families. I don't know if you know about soul families.
No,
but
talk
like
to me about that.
Soul families are like so like your family, like now, like your mom, like maybe you come back as like your father's your mother's father, or maybe your mom comes back as like your like if or your grandfather comes back as like your sister, or like your sister comes back as like your dog, you know, like dog, you can reincarnate into animals too. And I think pets are really like pets, like you have soul ties to like your pets too.
Damn, I feel that way too.
Yeah, like there's literally
Yeah.
been times when I've looked at my dog and I'm like, yo, in the past life you were my son. Like I feel that connection with my dog. You know what I mean?
My dog sees some shit. My dog sees some shit. My dog really knows me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, but like, do you feel that connection with your dog? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like you ever
yeah.
just stare into your dog's eyes and
Yeah,
you're
it's
like,
super connection.
you're like,
It's
yo,
like, why is
like,
your
we're-
eyes looking at me like that?
like we're connected,
Yeah.
like on a soul level. You know what I mean? I really believe that, and like, so soul families are basically like soul groups that like you're connected to, and like it's like, all right, like we're gonna go, let's play. I think it's like a video game. Like we're all like, all right, let's all like join a fucking video game group, and like we're gonna go, let's play this round, and over here, maybe we'll all go like over here this time, you know, and like I'll be your mom, and then I'll be your dad, and maybe I'll play this version of you, or like, you know what I mean? Like you all play different characters, but you all like find each other in a way.
Wow.
Like I think like me, like okay, we probably met in a past life, you
think
know,
so?
like probably. We've been cool, like. I think everybody you run into, you've met, like you've known before, or maybe run into in a past life.
I've met
at
so
some
many
point.
people.
Word.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you
like,
really think about it, like, and New York is, as many people as there are, I feel like New York is small too.
it's mad tiny. You know, it's
Yeah.
the size of like Universal Studios. Manhattan is the size of like Universal Studios. Like you can walk Universal Studios in like a day. Like that's how small Manhattan is.
True.
Yeah, New York is tiny compared to like the whole Earth.
Yeah.
I was actually watching a video the other day about the old school like maps, and how all the countries are actually like different sizes. So Africa, like, you know how the United States looks, and like South America, and like, you know how like if you could just picture the map like in your head, you can picture like all the continents, right?
Right.
So basically, like, Africa is actually much bigger than what it depicts on the map.
Oh yeah.
It's like way bigger. It's like the biggest like continent of them all.
Yeah.
And it's shown to be, like Asia is shown to be like the biggest, but it's actually not. And the U.S. is actually like real tiny compared to the rest of the world. So I'm like, why is this all like different? Like why don't they show the real size? But I guess it's like politics too, you know?
Yeah, they want to appear a certain way.
Yeah. And also, how did people back in the day, like, know how to map shit? Like, how did they know, like, where all these places were on the earth to go travel there, too? It's like, you know.
If you look at there's
Like-
a video of how the maps changed over time, and it
Yeah.
all was dependent on who was in control
Yeah.
in that time. That's
Yeah.
why England remains in the center of the map.
Oh,
of the world
really?
map. If you're looking at the world
Oh,
map,
shoot. Wow.
England is in the center.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that.
So it's like there's a way of looking at the world and how we view it. And you're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
there's also a way how our continents even help each other out. So if you notice, South America and Africa would fit perfectly, right?
Oh yeah, there was.
But not only that, the Sahara Desert
Uh-huh.
provides nutrients for the Amazon.
Oh wow.
So the sandstorms that come from Africa go
Uh-huh.
into South America and feed the Amazon.
Oh shoot, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
That's a good tidbit. Wow,
It's interesting.
it is interesting. But all the continents, we were all one landmass back in the day.
Right. What was it
Called
called?
Pangea.
Nigeria.
And that's how everything looks like it could fit as a puzzle piece because it all was once one.
Right.
You know, yeah.
And dinosaurs
When dinosaurs,
roam the earth.
they still do. Well,
Different forms.
like alligators are dinosaurs.
Have you seen some
Sharks-
bats? I've seen
sharks
these
are-
huge bats. I'm like, holy shit, bats could be that big. Like,
Yo,
what?
they freaking, I don't know if you heard about recently, but they found a frozen like some dinosaur embryo egg. They found it and they're gonna hatch it. And it's
Really?
like, what are you gonna bring back, like Jurassic Park? Like it's gonna be some Jurassic Park type shit. Like
Would you
it's
go to that zoo?
some prehistoric like. I don't know. Maybe I'll let the first round of people go and test it out first, and then check it out. But it's like I don't know. Would you fuck around with like old shit like that? Like bring back like all these crazy fucking species that like roam the earth like before humans?
I'll bring back the woolly mammoth. I'll bring back the chill
They're
ones.
gonna do that.
Yeah,
They're
chill
doing
ones.
that. Yeah.
The chill ones are cool.
Yeah. Not these crazy ones.
If you can live in any period of time for like let's say 2 months, where would you live?
The 70s or 80s seem like crazy time.
Yeah?
Like disco. I love disco. I want to go back to those times.
So you wouldn't go back to dinosaur times? Fuck that.
What? No. What? What? Why would I do that?
Why would I do that to myself?
What? I would go back to like the 70s. I love disco. Like I just want to experience that period. I also want to like see how my parents were at that age, at like our age, you know? Like I feel like I want to know how they my dad definitely partied. Like my mom was a square, so like my dad, I know he had fun. But my dad didn't like go out dancing. My mom was more going out to go dancing, you know.
Right.
But she wasn't really into disco. She was more into like Spanish, like going out to like Spanish spots to go dance, you
Okay.
know. But I want to go back to like Studio 54, like I want to experience that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What gives you that sentiment?
I don't know. I love disco. And things were like more dangerous back then, I feel like, but I'm like into that. I feel like I would be with it. Like I'd be like, yeah, like let's go. I mean, like fuck with me. Like you know what I mean?
Yo,
Fuck
that
with me.
reminds me, yo. All right, so I saw this post that you posted, right? It
Yeah.
was mad funny. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what? What are you saying here?
Yeah.
'Cause you were like, you only want to fuck with guys that you could beat the shit out of? Or some shit like that?
Maybe I want to
You po-
peg. I want to peg.
You posted some crazy ass story. Like,
Wait, I posted
you
that.
posted on your story, like, you only want to be with guys that, you were like, that let me beat the shit out of them. You said, you posted some shit like that.
Probably. I mean,
That's crazy.
I probably said that some shit like that at some. I mean, I don't want to just be with like if a guy that I'm with doesn't like that, then that's fine. But like, okay, my new thing now is like I want to become a dominatrix.
You said my new thing now.
Oh,
That's
the
crazy.
dominatrix comment. Was this like recent?
This
Was this
is-
like a couple months ago?
I guess. Hold
Yeah.
on. So go back into the whole dominatrix shit. Like, what?
Oh.
So that's what you're into now?
I'm not into that world yet, but I want to be. Like, I think I really just want to, like, beat the shit out of guys.
What?
Like,
That's the shit. That's the
that
shit.
was the comment,
that
right?
was the comment. Yeah.
I think I just want to beat the shit out of guys, and I really want to
Hold on,
peg.
hold on,
Okay.
'cause-
So,
All right. So you
yeah.
really want to beat the shit out of guys?
Yeah, and I want to peg. Like,
Really?
yeah. for
Why?
real.
Why do you want to do this? Like, what has gotten
Why
you?
do I wanna peg?
Yeah.
Because like for once, like I want the dick. Like I want to have the dick.
Okay.
Like like
You
for
said
real.
I want to have the dick.
Like
That's
I want to
crazy.
be the dick. Like I want to be the one wearing the dick. Like
That's
you know what
crazy.
I mean? Like
yeah. Okay,
like-
I don't know what you mean, but like, okay,
I mean,
what
as
guy?
a man, you know what having a dick is.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I guess it's like a power thing. Like I just want, you know.
You wanna do the fucking, but why don't you just
I
fuck
wanna
a
do-
girl?
I mean, I could do that too, but like, but like, I want to do it to like everybody. I guess.
That's fucking funny as
Yeah,
shit.
but like, I really want to peg
That's
a dude.
crazy.
I really want to
Oh,
peg a
shit.
dude. Yeah.
Really?
Like for real.
That's
yeah.
crazy. But they're out there. Like I'm
There's
sure,
guys
like,
that want
yeah.
that. Yeah, and there's
So-
guys that want to be like dominated and
So
like.
and you haven't done it yet?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
I mean.
They're out there.
I know. There's guys out there that want to be like talked down to and like
Right.
degraded, and like
Yeah.
that's what I want. What I want to do with
Right.
myself now. I think I could.
So that's the only thing you want to do now?
No, that's not the
Okay,
only
all
thing.
right.
That's not the only thing. I mean, people get paid to like beat the shit. Like I don't want to like, as a dominatrix, I don't want to like. I don't want to like fuck them. Like I don't want to be penetrated. Like I want to do the penetrating. You know, like I don't want to be fucked at all. Like I just want to like beat the shit out of people and like fuck them. You know? You know what I'm saying? You know, like if
I've had so many conversations. This is gonna be my like 86 podcast, I think. This has got to be the craziest shit that anyone has ever said on this.
What? Why? I mean, I already told my mom about it, and once I tell my mom about something, then it's already like emotion. Like
It's
you know,
already- it's clear.
she was already like. So this is after I got my new apartment and
Right,
everything.
right.
And then I told my mom, I was like, "Yo, mom, I want to become a dominatrix." And then
Right.
she's like, "What? Like, what is that?" I'm like, she's like, "Oh, you know, people like." I'm like, you know, people that just want to, like, you know, get beat up and stuff. I didn't tell her about the whole pegging stuff because, like, I don't, you know, keep it, like, classy with my mom. But, like, I'm like, you know, there's guys that, like, want to be beat up and, like, degraded and stuff. And she kind of, like, looked at me like, huh. Like, she was thinking. Like, she wasn't normally, like, she'd be like, what, Caliente, are you crazy? Like, what? And then she's like, huh. And then she's like, okay, well then you can't. You know, you can only have like 2 clients because like you don't want all these guys coming in and out of your house. And I'm like, Ma, we're not gonna be in my house. We're gonna be
Oh,
literally.
she took it serious.
Yeah, and I'm being serious too.
I know you're being serious.
Yeah, but she took it serious. She took it serious. So that's how I know. Okay,
Oh,
I can do
shit.
this now. Once my mom knows about it, once
Right.
my mom knows about something, and like, you know, like she's like cool
So
about
all right,
it.
you're
then
gonna do this.
I really want
All
to
right,
do this.
so you're all right. Look into the camera right now.
Yeah.
And like shout out your dominatrix name.
I don't have a
guess.
name yet.
All right,
but,
let's
like,
figure it out right now. Well, all right.
I don't know.
What
Ass
do-
Slayer.
Ass Slayer?
I don't know.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know.
Yo, so all right. So have you
What?
thought about the cock that you want? Like
I already have a strap on.
You already have
a
a strap on?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And my gay friend, he bought me these like shorts. They look like skin. It's like skin, but it has a dick on it. And like we had this whole scheme where like
All right, so you haven't initiated yet.
no, I haven't initiated yet.
Oh,
but I
man.
know guys. There's guys like kind of lined up that want to do
You
it.
said lined up.
I have a couple guys lined up that want to be pegged, but like I haven't done it yet.
That's crazy.
But this is like so recent. This is like mad recent. So anybody out there that wants to be pegged,
Shout out your
money.
Instagram. Shout out your Instagram.
Oh, my Instagram is private, but I can tell you, I gotta spell it out for you. My Instagram is lowercase Koya Niscatsi, lowercase. So I'm gonna spell it out for you. Lowercase KOYANNISQATSI__.
You're gonna be out here pegging these dudes.
So __, Koya Niscatsi __. I just want to peg. Like, that's my thing now.
That's your mission in life.
That's my mission, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna just go around the world and just like be pegging.
Be pegging. I just want to be pegging, yeah, basically. I mean, but if I ever like get a man or whatever, and like
Right.
I'm in a relationship or whatever, and like,
Right.
he's not into it, then like that's fine. But like he has to be okay with me like doing it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, but also like I'd be cool being like in an open relationship too. Like that's also something new that I'm like also like been not exploring, but also like interest like monogamy. I don't know. I've always been with that idea about monogamy in my head, like growing up and stuff. But I'm like, yo, why not be poly? Like what's wrong with that too? Like having more love. Like we were talking about love. Like loving more people is like spreading love. You know, just spreading love and just like loving. Why can't you can be in love with more than one person at the same time, I feel like. You know.
Do you feel like
yeah.
it goes back to like your whole way of looking at you said spirit families and stuff like that?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I'm sure that like your soul families and stuff can come back as like partners in life. But then, okay, this is going to get deep and kind of sad. But then also like when I got cancer, I was like kind of thinking about it. Oh, so this is another thing about when I got cancer. I was dating this guy and I'm going to get into what I was going to talk about. But I was dating this guy and it was this guy that I knew from college, and we had a thing in college, but then like it never worked out. And then like we always like met up like random times. Like we always reconnected like a few years later. And then like so in college we had a little thing that was that, and then we reconnected like 5 years later, and then we were just friends, and then we just like went out partying and dancing together and stuff. And that was that. He fell off again, and then recently during COVID he came back around. And then we reconnected, and that's when we started like dating, you know. We started like talking like heavy, and then we were doing that thing for a little while, and then I got cancer, and I told him about it, and then he was cool. He would like, you know, like check in on me, like how you doing, this and that, and then I told him it was stage 4, and then he fucking ghosted, and I was like, yo,
why?
like exactly, like why, like what the fuck, like that's shitty, especially coming from someone that like I knew, you know, like I knew you, like we were cool, like we went to college together and shit, you know, like why are you gonna be a dick like that? But also like I understood like that could be hard hearing, you know, like then I got all into myself, like I don't want to date, like I'm not doing this shit because like I don't want to have to explain my fucking story to people, you know, people are not gonna want to date me because I have fucking cancer, you know, like shit like that. But then I'm like, yo, also like if I'm poly, then like if I do pass away, at least like they'll have each other, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like sad shit like that. I would think like that, you know?
Do you have
But that's true. Like, you know, like I don't want people, like if I pass away in a relationship, then you leave the person like high and dry, you know? Like you want to think about the other person too, you know?
Wow.
But like in a poly relationship, at least like those other members still have each other, you know, even if I'm gone, you know?
When you had cancer, do you feel like you started kind of like of a bucket list, if you will?
Well, I still have cancer, so yeah.
No, but sorry. I mean, like, do you have a bucket? Do you have a bucket still? Like a bucket list?
A bucket list. So one, I travel. Like I love traveling. There's all these places I want to go. I took myself.
And you have to keep taking that shot, like forever, right? And like, so
For
is
the
this
rest of my life,
is this
yeah.
cancer like? That's it. It's with you. Is it already gone too far?
It's with me. So it's like basically. Okay, so we never talked about, like, after the chemo, then it shrunk the cancer in my breast, but it's still there. It's still in there, active, but it's not growing and it's not spreading, and that's how they want to keep it. So after that, I had radiation in my hip to get rid of the hip one that is spread to my hip. The radiation killed that, so the hip is good now. So now it's just in the breast.
Wow.
But the new standard now is that they don't want to operate on stage 4 people because basically, I guess now they're learning, now new studies are showing that I guess inflammation also has a lot to do with cancer spreading, but like having such an invasive, crazy surgery like that can actually aggravate it and cause it to spread more, like aggressively. So they just want to leave it and monitor it and just treat it. Like diabetes. Like, you know, you never get rid of diabetes, but you just always like treating it. You know, you don't cure diabetes, you just treat it. So basically, the goal is just to keep me alive as long as possible.
All right, conspiracy brain thinking, right?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
conspiracy hat on right now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that they do that to maintain a certain type of?
It's all big pharma
Right,
shit. It's
right.
all big pharma.
Because there's ways to.
So like we were
eliminate,
saying, like
right.
like eating alkaline, like I think I do want to research ways to like cure myself because I've seen that. I've seen those success stories too about people just eating clean and like just, you know, like being in that state of mind, like meditating and just there was this I joined this like Facebook group about I don't know if it was a cancer Facebook. It was a Ram Dass. You know who Ram Dass is? Look him up. Anyway, you'll research him later. But he was this like guru guy, and like this philosopher guy, and I joined his group on Facebook, and then I just like asked a question to the group about my cancer, and they're like, you know, like just talk to your cancer, you know, talk to it, like it's a part of you, like. Talk to it and like thank it for what it's taught you, but like send it away with love, like, you know, just like you can like doing things like that like actually work, you know, like as stupid as it sounds, like just like actually believing, and also like just believing, like manifest, like we were talking about manifestation before, but like the way you manifest things is just knowing that you have it already, like, you know, like it's already with like that's already like if you want $1 million, you just have to know that that's already yours, you know, just knowing that it's yours, it's gonna come to you. So like just knowing that you're cured, like you can do, just having that mindset, knowing that like that's the way that that it's already happening, you know, because like timelines are all parallel, like we're living multiple lives all at once, but they're all these timelines are like parallel. So there is a timeline where I cure myself, you know, if I have that mentality and I go that way. There's a timeline where I probably like die right away because I live in fear, you know. So if you just like live with love and leave with love, you know, like, and just like have that mindset, like, yo, just send your cancer away with love, like it'll just go, you know. But it's taught. You have to learn the lessons that come with it too, you know. Just like anything.
Like the message of love kind of remains in your heart and mind throughout many experiences, like with the whole like experience with the dream, the devil, and like love, 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 love.
Yeah.
Like there's many moments in your life that probably revert back to that.
Because love is like, we're saying, like, that's the language of, like, the one language I feel that everybody speaks is love. You know, like, that's the answer to, like, everything. I feel like that will save the world. I feel like if everyone just learned how to love, like, you know, love one another, love your fellow man, love, you can cure anything. But yeah, just love people. Just love one another. But also don't take shit is another thing, you know? Like... Don't like let other people like walk all over you, and like like what that psychic told me is like, you know, work on yourself, but like.
So you went to a psychic.
She was a psychic medium and she did Reiki too. Like she was a Reiki practitioner and she was a psychic medium. Okay. And then she's the one who told me the reason you have cancer is because you do too much for people and you don't work on yourself enough, basically.
So, what's something that, besides traveling, that you're working on yourself with? And like, besides, like, what's something that you're taking into consideration to be working with now?
Traveling and just, like, changing the way I eat. And also just changing the way I think, my perspective, I guess. I'm making progress on my changing my perspective, but there's always improvement, you know? Like, I think
what's something
also, like, you know, like going back to like thinking too much about other people, you know, like thinking too much for others, like instead of working on myself, like doing things for me, like, you know, things that I like, and trying to find like passion, like trying to like get back into hobbies that I like. I used to love to draw, you know, like I used to love, there were things that when I was a kid, I used to love playing basketball. Like my apartment is right next to a basketball court. I can just go there and just like shoot some hoops, you know, like doing things that like I like doing, you know, like I want to get back into doing stuff like that.
So what's
you know?
stopping you?
Nothing, you know, my own brain, my own mind, you know. That's some things that like, you know, and procrastination, you know.
You're physically capable now, right? Like it's not like
yeah. So now since I'm in menopause and medical menopause,
Right.
I'm like my body feels like an old lady. Like
Does
I can't. It does, yeah.
In what sense?
Like I get hot flashes, as you can see. That's why I got the fan.
Right.
I get hot flashes like.
You want me to
crazy.
put it higher?
Actually, if you can,
Yeah.
Thing.
I know it's hot as fuck here.
It's not fun, but so waking up like always like aches and pains. Like it takes me a minute to get up from the chair. You know, like old ladies. How like it takes them a minute to like.
Like you need a cane type shit?
Maybe I might later. Not now, but like I might like down the road type shit.
Okay.
Like you get aches and pains, like your joints hurt and shit.
Okay.
But like I tried like working out would help me, but
Right.
like I think I tried. So I haven't been to the gym in like a year or two because I tried. So after chemo and stuff, I tried going back to the gym, you know, and I tried doing my normal stuff, and like I fucked myself up with that. Like I did, you know, the squat press machines.
Mm-hmm.
I did that way too high, and I fucking pulled like my glute. I pulled the hamstring.
Damn.
I have like tendonitis,
Damn.
and like it still hasn't like healed from that.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
okay. So I'm just like I really want to work out. Like I want to go back. I really want to get back into martial arts. That's something I really want to do too.
Step by step, right?
Yeah.
'Cause, like it's the martial
There's
arts.
so much, no, but like yeah, okay, so
You want to get to like at least a good
no, I
physical
really
condition?
yeah, I want to get into martial arts. So maybe starting with Tai Chi. You know,
Okay.
that's slow. That's like very like
Yoga.
or Qigong. Yeah, or yeah, yoga.
Hot
too.
yoga. you know?
Yoga's good, yeah, but like I really so doing something like that, getting more active because
Right.
also like being active helps with the cancer too. Like if you're just
Yeah.
sluggish and not doing shit, like
It's not helping you.
it's not helping either.
Right.
You know, it's not helping my body, but also I need to like make sure I don't hurt myself and go too hard at the same time.
I know a lot of people. So if you
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I have like friends that are personal trainers too.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean we could talk after this, but
Yeah,
I
for
really
sure.
want to find like I really
Yeah.
want to get back into martial arts though. Like I really want to become like a ninja.
Martial arts too. I know this girl too that you can follow. I had her on the podcast too. Shout out Mariah. She's into Muay Thai.
I used to do that. Yeah.
and
Okay.
She does that out here in Astoria at Seaton Gym. Shout out
Okay.
Seaton Gym.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also a really dope spot. But that's what's up. That's
Yeah.
really good. What would you say is like the biggest lesson you learned throughout that whole entire experience, and that you're still going through right
Yeah.
now? But as of right now, from this point on, like you're how old are you now?
34.
34. So
Yeah.
like, at this point in your life, have gone through this wild roller coaster,
Right.
and still kind of going through it because you're still maintaining, still trying to figure it out, but
Yeah.
you're maintaining this positive outlook. Like,
Yeah.
what's something that you could say to the people that you that I just feel like is the biggest lesson throughout it all?
Yo, honestly, like just enjoy your life. Like just have fun. Like I'm all for like okay, so I made this nickname for myself even though it's not like a nickname, it's side quest. I love a good side quest. I love a good adventure. I love getting into shit. Like
Side quest. That's
I
lit.
just like love like have fun. Like
Right.
you know, like explore the earth, explore
Right.
like, you know, hidden gems. Like I've never been like we talked about like hopping fences and I've never been like scared to like break the law a little bit, like and trespass. Like you know, like if you want to trespass to go watch a beautiful ass sunset, go fucking do it. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like just like do things. You
Yeah.
know. That's always been my outlook on life. So maybe that's not new. I didn't learn that. I just always have been
You
like
always
that.
had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess what I learned is like just like I guess do things for you. Like, you know, if you're always focusing on other people all the time, you know, like really like you absorb their karma, and you don't want that, you know, absorbing other people's like problems and shit. Like that becomes your problem now, you know. Just focus on yourself and how to better yourself, and like try to find like things that you love to do, you know, like always go where the excitement is, you know. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And do you have any questions for me?
How are you? How are you doing? How is Axel doing today? Good.
It's been a wild roller coaster. I've learned a lot of shit in life, and I really appreciate every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate every day. Like
Yeah.
I'm at a point in my life where I feel very grateful for every person that I come across, and like every person that I sit across and have these discussions with, because I feel like there's like a lot of power in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel blessed and honored to even have you here.
Thank you.
And for real, and thank you for like taking the time for sharing all these words and like and being
for
open to
sure.
speak about so many different things, because
Yo.
that's what's up.
And I'm open. Like my cancer journey is like I'm an open book about it. So if any of your viewers like need like have questions or want to reach out about like if they know someone that has cancer or whatever, like hit me up.
Right.
Like if you have questions or whatever, you know.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And shout out your Instagram one more time.
Okay, it's __ Koyanaskatsi __. So let me spell it out again. __ KOYANISQATSI __.
So yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Go. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know.